Hey guys, we'll get started in just a minute here. AR, why don't you try talking?
Pro tip, never schedule a convention staff meeting an hour before a podcast.
DevQ, why don't you try talking?
Wow, that's a mood.
Okay, that looks like it's good. Let me just check one or two more things here. Okay, that looks good. You guys ready to go?
Yep.
Welcome to the WtW podcast. We're here to entertain and inform a bit while talking about Digimon. I'm Mark, I run WtW.
I'm AR Pulver, and I told everyone that was for the ending and not the opening.
I'm DevQ, and I spend too much of my time on Wikimon.
And I'm currently melting.
So am I, because I remember to turn the air conditioning off this time, but I know you're going through worse, I guarantee.
Oh, well, yesterday was the hell day, and it was especially more fun because I was dragged out to fix up the computer stuff in my brother's office, which is the corner room of that house where the air conditioning is least effective. So it was basically redoing all the wiring and stuff in an office in a day when I would have rather just put cold water in the bathtub and fallen asleep, which I believe Jeff from Poddigest said he did with a book last night.
Yeah, it's actually chilly outside today, but not in here right now, so that's not helping.
Yeah, it's a very unpleasant. Minus that unpleasantness, how was the last week for everyone?
I don't remember the last week, to be honest. They all just run together.
Any memories of the past week, Dev? Are you in the same boat as AR? Did Dev get cut off?
We've just been
working there she is.
To death.
So
yeah,
lots
keep
of
popping in and out.
Okay, we will just start talking then. So
great for the podcast experience.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Episode 14, The Kings of the Insects Clash. Before we talk about the episode itself, can we just say how much everyone does not like the change to the opening?
I can't believe they advertised that.
Well, here's the thing.
Like, hey, listen for some changes to the opening, huh?
Yeah, here's the thing.
And then they were awful.
When they did that, everyone went, oh, there's going to be some new or updated animation or something with the same song. And then it happened. It's like, oh, good, we got a few beeps. And that was like literally it. It was a few beeps. I don't think there was anything of substance at all.
It seriously sounded like some sort of anti-ripping thing.
No,
like you can't. Like that's what it sounds like. No, even though obviously you can get this. Obviously, you can get it on YouTube now. But
no, you know what it sounded. You know what
like they were doing.
You know what it sounded like to me, honestly. When someone goes, I added sound effects to the intro and it sounds great, and then you go and listen, it's just a few plinks. It's literally just a plinko noise as things drop, as they drop.
I remember old shows used to do that. Actually, new shows probably do that too in animation, where they'll just add random sound effects, and it's just nobody likes those.
No,
you want to hear the song.
Well, here's the problem was because they hyped it at all. Everyone sort of went, there's gonna be something new for the opening.
Mm-hmm.
Dev, is something crawling on your microphone?
Dogs are going completely psychopath because someone's setting off fireworks again.
Okay, that makes sense.
Those traditional Labor Day fireworks.
Yeah, it has been fireworks out here have been going off all summer, to be honest.
Well, that's because your state's on fire right now.
Yes, but it was happening in the middle of August also. Okay, so the episode. Koshiro episode worked well. Where do we want to start with this one? Because it's weird. It feels like not too much happened in the first half, even though stuff did. So, yeah. Do you want to start with this one, AR?
I guess it's hard to talk about this one because this felt like a very classic adventure episode, both good and bad, in the way it developed Koshiro, but it also had a lot of the same flaws with the battle and action sequencing that you sort of just assume and just sort of accept in the old series, but the new series has been so good at it that it's really noticeable.
Yeah. The first half, I like that the fight was dynamic and it had, planning involved. It just felt like it just kept dragging and dragging though. Like
Yeah, that too.
I was sitting there kind of like going, this is kind of boring, and it's where something exciting's happening, but they've done it so much without stopping the episode. I was sort of just going, so is something gonna happen?
It's like you get it. They're outnumbered.
Yeah.
That's really what it amounts to. They're outnumbered, and they always struggle against Kuwagamon. That's Digimon tradition.
Although
So
the
you
gem
sort of
thing
get
was
to
nice
beat them.
though,
The what?
where
They
they
kind
show
of
us
had it made sense this time because it's
Yeah.
like, oh, it's not just one Kuwagamon; it's like a
Yeah,
whole bunch
yeah.
of them.
the
But even
gems.
then, Greymon was having trouble one-on-one.
Yeah, true. But to be fair, they've also been walking for a long time.
No, it's fine.
Yeah.
And they did have that cool side-scrolling evolution.
But
That
what
was really nice.
Yeah, that actually worked really well, and it was nice that we
Yeah.
didn't have to sit there for the sequence. It just
Yeah.
went. But yeah, what I was saying was I like the gag they did with the gem mirror thing, and they did the gag like 2 or 3 times in a row, and it kept working.
Yeah, that's one of those things you see at the beginning of the episode, and you know it's going to come back into play
Yes.
later. It was
And
Chekhov's mirrors.
It actually
It is
does. It actually does.
MacGuffin.
It actually does twice when it comes back later.
Yeah.
Yeah. The weird thing is it feels like not much happened this episode because since it's character development via 1 or 2 things happening, it's like, oh, we do actually get to deal with the computer, but it's mostly Koshiro forgetting that he has a brain.
Yeah, it's one where this is where the classic kind of, like I said, classic kind of character development where you just beat them into submission and then their actual personalities show up, and hey, sometimes their personalities aren't, these perfect children that we've been used to seeing all season, that they're going to break down and not think straight and get a little temperamental.
Yeah,
As we saw a lot with Mimi in this episode as well.
Yeah. See, I thought it worked best though. It was his focus episode. It makes sense with Koshiro, where the first thing in the episode is literally him doing something without his computer and just using his general base of knowledge to comment on, and he completely forgets that that's something he could do because he's so focused on the computer not working that he completely forgets that he could just look around and comment.
Yes.
Yeah. And of course, we do get to see the mirror as Chekhov's gun more literally later, but...
Well, that's, I think the mirrors, like you said, Chekhov's gun situation where he's doing this thing, and then, I want to say even then he did a couple things in the middle of the episode as well, or even before that.
He may have, but it was nothing super, like he was talking about it, how it was obviously some type of maze, and stuff like that.
It was that he's frustrated that his computer doesn't give him information on Kuwagamon, and then Tentomon just tells him everything he needs to know.
Yeah. I actually saw that and I kind of went, that actually makes the information dump stuff even weirder, because a lot of the information is stuff that theoretically Tentomon would have just told them in the old show.
Yeah, well...
Yeah, I remember that.
It is... Well, it's also stuff that that's typical Digimon Analyzer screen information, but I really appreciated earlier in the series when it was really Piyomon and Agumon providing that information instead of that.
Yeah.
Like, it was nice to keep it in the real world instead of having this, pop in this over the screen popping up and someone else explaining what's going on.
Yeah. I thought one of the more
interesting... hey, you live here, you probably know what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
One of the more interesting things to me is, and even though he was technically evolved through multiple episodes and we didn't see him, it felt like I sort of went, wow, I don't think we've ever actually just seen Kabuterimon be around this much. Where he's just around and talking and doing things, and it was kind of weird and interesting.
We've been getting that once in a while with all of the different adult levels. And this was just sort of Kabuterimon's turn. And even then with Kabuterimon, they were pretty much in action mode nonstop through this episode.
Yeah. His evolution was not as interesting as Tentomon's was, though, I will say.
Oh, to alter?
Yeah, because here the issue is and it will come up later, is Kabuterimon to alter Kabuterimon literally just it's just he gets a shell and the color changes. It is effectively the same Digimon, although he's much, much larger.
Yeah.
Although I will say the animation high point for this episode was that rushing Hornbuster.
Yeah.
Where it's Atler, Kabuterimon, and Koshiro
fun.
zooming right past the screen. That was a great fucking shot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And they actually gave a fight to the perfect this time.
Yeah. And it
Although they gave one, I guess they gave one to Grudamon a little bit as well last time, but that was one of the things I forgot I was complaining about.
And this is where they either did something great or something terrible. I'm going to say great because I have to believe we'll get some explanation as to, okay, the computer is back and it's now better, which means someone was doing something to it.
That's a damn well better because
if
that's because
exactly.
If that's the tablet came back online because Koshiro realized he didn't need it.
Yeah, that's shit.
That is crap.
Yeah. That's the thing is I don't care if it's homeostasis. I don't care if it's Jedi. I don't care if it's Yggdrasil. I don't care if Batman shows up. Somebody at some point I don't care who, has to go, oh, you upgraded Koshiro's computer. And then they can move on and never mention it again, and I'm fine with it. But there better be something at some point. Otherwise, that is a shitty thing to do. Because it's been episodes where they've teased something going on with the fucking computer.
I am less optimistic than you are that that's going to be a thing, but fingers are crossed. I hope I'm wrong
it's
on
a
that.
Thing.
Right?
There has to be something at some point. Otherwise, that's a shit moment.
It really was.
Yeah.
I didn't even mention that in my review. I'm like, that was so bad. I'm just not going to acknowledge it.
See, I acknowledge it because that is clearly a moment that if it does not lead to at least 3 words of dialogue somewhere, then it's poorly done. If they say something about it, I'm 100% fine with it.
Yes.
And here's the thing. It may be a year until we find out. But something at some point. No, I don't want it to be here.
It's gonna be Tailmon's Holy Ring again.
Yes, but that's
no,
so,
I can't do that again.
So I feel like we're all happier with this episode than we were the last one.
Happier, yes. It's still average for me.
Okay, so next week we get Zudomon, which something with Joe, please. I think we're all kind of agreed on that. Is we need something with Joe where he's going to be the butt of the joke. We all know that, but there needs to be something else.
He's going to be a goddamn action hero like he always is.
The joke.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that joke worked way too well to become at Joe's expense. Like it's like, oh, I hate that worked. Like, just give Joe a freaking break. Yeah. And also Yamato is
like, oh, he stopped talking. Okay, yeah, we can sit on the deal now.
I love that Yamato is just silently suffering through Sora and Joe's crap, and he's still an asshole.
Yep. And then the one time he's not an asshole, the new end theme.
He's very happy in that.
Yeah. So the animation's very different for Digimon. Although when we only saw the line art, no one noticed that anything was off in any way.
Yeah, I mean, it looked a little different to me, but it was definitely a lot more stylized than I expected that.
Yeah, so animation is very stylized, very like colors are interesting.
It's fun to watch.
Yeah, very fun to watch. Very suggestive.
I really liked how they did the eyes.
Yeah, those where they kind of did them almost like I want to say almost like pearls, sort of.
Yeah.
Where they didn't do solid colors, but it sort of changed the depth of the color as the eye moved on.
It's in a weird way. This ending reminded me of, like, I think it was maybe the second Savers ending where they just changed things. Like, it just has that really different feel to it, and you just sort of appreciate that.
Yeah.
As opposed to the kind of doing the same idea constantly with the same animation style, and it's always Maeda. It's I like it when they mix it up.
That was one of the things we were told here was that we actually were told that Real had specifically pitched a different type of song, and that they had gone in on it even for the animation to do something a bit different.
Yeah, for sure.
The
And
song very
the song is
different.
a bop. Yeah,
I really liked
yeah.
it though, to be honest, because here's
It's
the
one that's gonna it's gonna take a little bit to grow on me, but it's definitely better than most Digimon endings, I would
yeah,
say.
it felt like it was three different songs because it started off with relatively calm but kind of like a tribal beat. Then it goes into the sort of pop rap fusion, and then at the end you get the 100% stereotypical dubstep drop the beat. Yeah, like 100% stereotypical, but it actually
Very
worked.
wubby. Yeah.
Wub, 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 wub. But it worked really well, I think. And
Mm-hmm.
should we take it as suggested that Takaru appears to be walking around in the digital world following them?
I think that's assuming too much. I'm not sure I like the idea of Takeru showing up before Hikari this time, but
See,
we'll see.
the thing is well, the weird thing is we were told stuff about Tailmon in the promo stuff, so I'm kind of curious to see where and if that may come into play, or if that's something that got dropped. Because, for example, in the original art we saw not Takaru, Koshiro didn't have a 2-in-1.
Yeah, that's true. And I mean, even if you watch the opening, Patamon is definitively in the opening, and Tailmon's
Yes.
just sort of a mysterious shadow figure.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see how that comes.
There could be some distinction between them. I don't know if that's to be taken literally that Takeru has been in the digital world this whole time, but I kind of hope that that's not the case, because I really don't like it when the ending gives away major plot details.
Although that is kind of a Digimon tradition to give away shit in that stuff.
It certainly is, but that's one I hope they break.
Yeah, so we'll find out. But yeah, new ending is good. No announcement of any sort of CD yet, but that can't be too far away. So we'll see. But yeah, it was a nice ending. It was nice. It was nice to already have the animation that we were sort of like, we may not see the new opening for months, and the animation was in fact for the ending, so we've already seen it.
I called that from the beginning.
I think a lot of us sort of mused. I think my original post where it said they say opening, but we're kind of too far away from that, so maybe an ending might have said that. But
nope, I didn't even hedge on that one. I'm just like, yeah, that's an ending. That's for the ending. Even though the actual specific images themselves looked more ending-ish than opening-ish to me.
The Mimi and Joe stuff felt more opening to me, to be honest. Like the Koshiro one felt ending, but like where Joe was like, wave, in the wave with Gomamon, and Mimi was swinging through with Palmon, that felt very much like that could be an opening transition thing.
I can kind of see your point with that, but not compared to the way that not the way that they're presented in the first opening.
Yeah, but I wasn't necessarily expecting it to be the same, though. To be honest, was the thing and this was what.
I would have expected it to be upgraded. Like if they're gonna have that if they're gonna do something like that, it would have been with Lilymon and Zudomon instead.
But although actually, we did have footage of them that did not pop up here, and that, for all we know, could be the opening where it looks like they're rushing the screen, and it's the perfect forms.
That could be.
Yeah. And then last up for new adventure for now, we got a music video for Be the Winners. It feels like this one was purposely done to be an inverse of the opening one, because instead of whites and blues with him in a shirt, it's reds and blacks with him in a hoodie. But it's basically the same style where we need to get this done, we can't do anything, and he's thrown in a room.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's about it for that. Just yeah.
Like super low budget. Like here's you on a camera. We'll figure it out.
Yeah. And then we get to talk about Butterfly, which ranked 4th in the Anna Song general election that TV Asahi did.
Jeez. Still going.
Yeah, over 130,000 votes. And the only things higher were Space Battleship Yamato, Gurenge from Demon Slayer, which that feels like that's the random new one that has to rank high.
That's the new favorite that everyone's in.
And then number 1, as it always is in these, is Cruel Angel's Thesis. Like
you're fighting for second in these things.
Yes, it's
You're always fighting for second.
It's sort of like when a lot of computer sites a very long time ago for their top. Oh crap! I can't remember the term for software that doesn't come out. I can't remember the term. Where like the award.
Abandonware?
Yes, the top. No, because abandonware is what people call when something isn't like work. It's out and it's not.
Yeah.
Crap! I can't remember.
Vaporware or whatever.
Yeah, vaporware. That's it. And multiple sites retired Duke Nukem Forever from being able to be eligible from it because nothing else could win.
Then they got their wish.
Yeah. Since someone in the chat asked, this is not just openings. This is any anime song. It could be openings, endings, inserts. As long as it was in an anime, it was eligible to be voted.
Same thing from like a couple of years ago. I'm trying to remember what second ended up being, but it was like First Angel's Thesis, and then Butterfly actually got third that time.
I think Kakudo actually said it got fifth in the one that was on NHK. I think
a couple years ago though.
Yeah, but Kakudo said a number of nice things. He posted a CD photo. He said he couldn't find his original, so it was that. He was happy they showed one of Wada Koji's performances, which we think it was the Anime Low Summer Live 2000, the one they put up on YouTube a few months ago. And he was very happy that they actually showed footage this time, which they don't often do. And he thinks they did that because there was a new show on the air. And he ended by saying he looks forward to the day when he sees songs from the current show appear in rankings like this.
Mm-hmm.
And then a lot of different posts from people and things affiliated with the brand. Like, I think, I always forget his last name. Cher, the guy who arranges most of the old Adventure songs, and I believe he did the arrangement for Butterfly, he posted about it. Volcano Oda, just lots of neat, lots of little comments. So not much more to say.
Number 5 was Touch. That's interesting. Anyway,
yeah, it was an interesting list because it really did have a lot of new and old stuff mixed in.
Yeah,
including some unexpected ones that even older ones like no one would be shocked that the City Hunter opening was like 8 or ending was 8 or 9.
Sure.
Because that's one I believe.
I mean, just looking at 2 and 3 being Demon Slayer and Battleship Yamato, like that's as varied as it gets for time period.
Yes. But yeah, so it was neat that Butterfly gets mentioned yet again, which that also shows why it's always going to be Adventure also.
Yeah.
Because you get the people who don't
slaps.
You get the people who don't pay attention to anime who know what Digimon Adventure is, and that's part of why it will never be defeated unless just something crazy happens at some point.
It's also why it was such an eye-opening choice to not use it in the new series.
Yeah. Or it was just they weren't using.
They use it as some sort of insert later.
Right, because they are using old music.
Yeah,
old team music in the new series. So
because they did it with Appmon used Braveheart.
Sure.
And that's one of the only insert songs it got. So moving on from Butterfly, I got my Kizuna Blu-ray from Japan and started doing scans and stuff. And man, doing this gets more tiring in the heat. Yeah, Dev has scanned plenty of stuff, so she knows just how tiring it can get.
384 pages.
Yeah, I'm not debinding anything this time. Just that's too much. There'll be more articles about this stuff, but not debinding this time. Nice Blu-ray, nice package. It's just nice, to be honest. I liked it. I don't like the one thing I don't like. I really don't like that spine logo. It actually bothers me. Because like they have it set up all nice and centered, and then Last Evolution's off on the side because of how the logo. I don't like it.
Mm-hmm.
And sales are shockingly good. I've been putting up the daily charts on the site. It's there's been no weekly charts yet, but it's still charting on the daily stuff, with stuff even reappearing after it's vanished from the charts. But I'm very curious to see what actual numbers we end up getting here. because I don't expect it to do, say, what the Adventure Blu-ray box did, but it looks like it's doing very well, so it'll be interesting to see. And I still love that wide art of all the kids. It's just good art. And then probably
the poster of it.
And then probably the big news is the card game's coming to the US.
Yay! This is cool.
I was surprised, but I wonder like how well distribution is going to go this time.
The thing is I don't think anyone was that surprised for one reason. They were using the US size cards when they started in Japan, and that was kind of upsetting various people in Japan to use the larger cards for no apparent reason. And everyone sort of went, well, it makes sense if they plan to this, because like, even if you look at the logo, it's not the US logo font, but it looks very reminiscent of it.
Yeah, I guess.
In the way that it reminds, if you're not like us who sees the logo constantly, the old US logo, it sort of has that feeling to it.
I guess you can look at it as kind of a rebranding for sure.
Yeah, so it's out in January with an early release in at some card retailers in November. It looks like they have to agree to order X and also order, make still stock Dragon Ball Super at the same time and stuff like that. The starter decks are the same as the Japanese ones. And the first booster set is Special Booster Set 1.0, which is numbered BT01 through 03. It includes a mix of cards from the first 3 Japanese boosters. And then there'll be a Special Booster 1.5 right after, which will include the other ones from those sets, basically as a let's get caught up to the Japanese. Which is a really neat way to do it, especially since they want to do all that tournament stuff next year. So it'll be interesting to see how far that goes worldwide.
I do find it interesting that they are sticking with the dub names on this. Like, this could have been a good opportunity for them to start switching over. But
because that doesn't mean anything to most people who might buy this in the US.
I don't know about that. Like, that's...
No, because here's the thing. Think about this. We had Try come out, and people were like, oh, Try. And then the dub came out, and it was like a wave. It was...
Yeah, it was, but...
Yeah, but like...
It seemed like if this is like a chance to introduce it to new CCG people...
Except here's the thing.
This might be an opportunity.
But the thing is the CCG people don't care. They're just going to get the cards if they decide to get it. Plus, CCG people may be the most fickle audience I've ever seen.
Yes, they
are. Like as far as people going, this one booster isn't good, I'm thinking of quitting and going to a different card game.
Mm-hmm.
Like that seems to be a very normal thing there. So you do want to make the game fun for them, but I don't think you can worry about customizing it to them when they're either going to stay or they're not going to.
Okay.
Yeah, because
I'm not saying it's a good or a bad choice. I just found that interesting.
Yeah, so booster packs will have 12 cards in them for $3.99. The booster the booster boxes will have they were parallel cards in Japan, alternate art cards here, which will be the same, and they will also have a 2-card per pack mini booster, which includes the magazine cards from Japan, which is a great way to do those. And to make sure we get them, and it feels weird that, like, wow, there's going to be Zoromaru, that version of Tai, and it'll be interesting to see what they do with the other promo packs, because there's a few of those that need to get distribution somehow.
I know at least with, like, a lot of US card games, mostly with just Pokemon, they usually have, like, some sort of, like, box or like a blister pack with a booster card with a promo card like at the front.
No. That's what these are. Where it's the box, and then when you open the box, the pack with the art card and the promo pack will be there. It's not in a normal booster pack.
No, like what they do with Pokemon, where it's like a 2-card blister pack. It has the promo and like a collectible coin.
Yeah. And then the starter decks will be $9.99, and they each come with a booster pack in them to customize the decks, which that's a great idea, to be honest.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, that one actually makes perfect sense. The price is good. It's not quite as low as it was in Japan, but in Japan it was very clearly super super low. So it'll be interesting to see what else. Because here's the thing: it's not like January will have Booster 3 out in Japan. Booster 4 will be a month or two away. So we may be caught up by like March. So it'll be interesting to see. And also with the cards, Union Impact, we got to see a few more Digimon from. I still don't know what magazine this is, but we got to see Godramon, Saint Galgamon, and Lopmon. That Lopmon art's amazing.
Yeah, I like the Lopmon.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so freaking cute.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then they finally did the final viewer suggestion battle featuring Deck 2 on Fun Digica. And they said, of course, they are going to do this again because people really have loved these. And there's been no more Fun Digica since then, so it'll pop up soon, so we'll see. And this one I felt like AR would be interested in. AR, what did you think of the Tech Kids Grand Prix programming competition using adventure art?
Oh, I didn't think much of this one, but because
Oh,
my kid's not that old.
No, I know, but I meant that it's continuing the theme we saw earlier of them being involved in that, doing that.
Oh no, I like that idea.
Yeah. And my favorite,
I like that idea before. I still like that idea. That's
my favorite part.
On this.
My favorite part is that we got the high resolution art from the Digimon Parade wallpapers, which were also the ones in Shibuya.
Mm.
They are so nice.
Yeah. I'm sure WtW will be eager to upload them and immediately have them replaced.
And my favorite part is that because they didn't do the anti-aliasing stuff yet, the file sizes were super small. which is why if you look at the lines, they're very pixely because they haven't done the anti-aliasing to clean them up yet because a lot of apps do anti-aliasing and stuff on its own. So even though these are massive, they're super small in file size because there's no intermediary stuff to deal with. This art's so good. It really is. And then
I
next
just want them as decals so I can put them all over my room and make it look like Digimon threw up all over my walls even more than it already has.
Oh, that's a good idea. I have a new laptop. I feel like I should decorate this one because I have a bunch of stickers that I don't use.
Who's shocked that the new polls about which perfect Digimon you want to fight together with? Are you shocked?
No.
Yeah, everyone's 100% saw this one coming. And it closes on September 16th, so there's still plenty of time to vote, and I would like to congratulate Metal Greymon for winning. There are other possibilities that I could see winning where it's not quite like Agumon that just destroys everything, but it feels like it's going to be Metal Greymon, doesn't it?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
I
think in this one, where Garurumon is going to be really close up to the top because of reasons.
Yeah, I think Angelomon's going to be up there too for other reasons.
I think Holy Angelmon will also be one that's high because he's one that people remember, even though he never did all that much.
He was in one episode in season 1. I suppose he was in 3, I guess. But
yeah, he had one relevant appearance in season 1.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, but we'll see who comes up other than Metal Greymon. And I voted for
Rapidmon, and I feel like I was being too conventional.
See, Rapidmon's a good choice. Now, the next one is more interesting because do they just say Ultimate? Because the reference book is one of those places that does not try to organize things easier by using Super Ultimate. Because here's the thing, Super Ultimate, and I know people get upset when this is brought up, Super Ultimate's not a level. It is sometimes in games as a mock level for organizational purposes because it's just Ultimates that are super. But anything that actually just uses the raw names ignores it entirely. So if the next one does Ultimates, do they say that some are excluded? Like, here's the thing. Do you exclude Omegamon?
I mean, if you want somebody else to win.
Okay, here's the thing. I congratulate Omegamon on his victory, and if he is excluded, I congratulate War Greymon on his victory.
It's true. It's true.
And then we have
for the ultimate one, I feel like I was too conventional this time. So if they do an ultimate one, I'm naming an Atmon.
Maybe they should do Armor Digimon.
Oh, there you go. That would be nice. Fun.
Yeah, that'd be a neat one.
That's gonna be
Flameon wins.
Yeah, that's gonna. No, actually, it could be Magnamon.
Yeah, it's gonna be Magnamon, but that would be a little more quirky and some. Yeah. I would want to see the results of that.
And then Rydramon.
Yeah. Then
you're probably right.
And then we have products. Who likes products that they have to spend money on and are forced to against their will to do so?
I hate you.
So first up, we have some calendar updates. We have the cover image for the Adventure 2021 calendar, and it's nice. It's nice artwork. Everyone looks correct. There's no weird neck things going on this time.
Yamatos is a little long, but
a touch, but it's not like
it's not Sora's.
Yes, it's not. It's not like Sora's from the
flamingo neck.
Yes, yeah. The character shop. That's what it's from. And then the TV animation 2021 calendar. We have a different. Every year we get two covers for this, and I can never figure out, is it there are two different calendars at different places, or did he just put up early artwork and then swap it? Because the first one had new art of Yamato and Gabumon from the new show, and they're not on the new cover. So I've never once figured out if there's actually two calendars or if they just change the art, because this happens every year.
Because there have been years where there were two calendars.
Well, here's the thing. There's years with multiple calendars, but I specifically mean the quote-unquote TV animation calendar with the Toei characters. Yeah. I've never been able to figure out if there's actually two of those, or if they just put up art for solicitation early, and then later we're getting a different cover, but it's the same calendar. Let's move on from the calendars. We got a sales sheet for the Ichiban Kuji stuff, which shows us all the other prizes we didn't. The Shikishi look great. I mean, they all look really good.
Yeah, yes.
This is among the best art we've seen for the new show. The rubber keychains look amazing. I want all of them.
Yeah.
Like, there's a mystery keychain. They tease the last one figure without telling us the color. I don't know why it is available to order the box in Australia. Like the box that comes with everything that you would do to do this in a store in Japan, since that's how it's done. Madman is selling it for 1,200 Australian dollars, which is roughly 890 American. Which is about a $300 premium over Japan, which makes sense when you consider shipping something this huge and doing something. I don't imagine anyone's actually going to do the lotto. I imagine stores will buy it and then just split it into toys.
Right.
Yeah.
But like, it is one of those dumb things where I sort of wanted to message May going, so are you going to order this? Because you could actually split it apart and keep one of everything you need and then sell the rest and make back not all your money, but enough to make it worth doing. And I would actually be dumb enough to do that if this came out in the US, to be honest. As it is, I will just have to settle for that I pre-ordered the US standalone releases of the two figures.
Yeah, well, if you don't do it, somebody would.
Oh, I'm sure someone will. It's just a matter of who, because that's not a small amount of money. Like
no. That's likely those kind of like shops that you see at convention.
Yes, that's exactly what it is.
Oh, absolutely.
Because here's the thing.
Intent of it, but I'm sure somebody would, get a group together ahead of time.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, because see, I have to be honest. As much as the figures are the nice things, the Shikishis and the keychains look so nice.
Yeah.
Now, do we want to place bets on the mystery keychain? I feel like the obvious one's Omegamon. But does anyone have any guesses for the mystery?
Honestly, my first guess was also Omegamon.
I'm just going to be different and say Greymon.
Oh, see, that's actually a good choice. We've actually had Greymon as the mystery chase figure and
Greymon's
stuff
been
before.
the mystery one before.
Yeah. And then we mentioned the character shop. Not all of them, but a bunch of those products are actually up to order normally at CD Japan, so you don't have to deal with intermediaries. A lot of these are cheap crap, but I actually like the art. I just wish they were on nicer things.
Yeah.
Minus the Sora, which I feel bad harping about, but her neck does not look right in that artwork.
No.
It looks like it's coming out of her shoulder.
Yeah. And then the Sanrio Digimon Adventure and Joy Summer Shop also has stuff available. The art. I kind of I would get the mug, except I ordered a mug, got one from one of the limited base stores, and it was so small I just don't use it because it's like it holds like 8 ounces.
It's chibi sized.
Basically, yes.
It's Sanrio.
Back when Think Geek, still existed, may it rest in peace, I got a Portal Aperture Science mug, and it was so tiny. Like, I could fit, 3 fingers into the handle. That was it.
Ew.
It was just, it was sad. It was like a Dixie cup size.
The mug that I most often use was a gift, and it is hilariously an oversized mug with the Hulk's face on it. And then moving on to Series 2. See, I thought it was going to be the Crest of Friendship, and it'd be like grape or raspberry flavored. It's Crest of Courage again. They just changed the stickers. I honestly thought it was going to be a different gummy this time. So
give me some blue raspberry.
Yeah. So the higher end stickers this time are Metal Greymon, Weregreymon, and Black War Greymon, all with new art by Kenji Watanabe, which those look really good. I mean, his art always looks good, but I really like it this time because it does have that modern flair he has in his art.
Mm-hmm.
And then the anime ones are Metal Greymon, Weregreymon, and Omegamon. Metal Greymon, I don't get what he's doing. It looks like he's crouching or something.
Flying towards you or something.
He's doing a pre-punch in order to throw a bigger punch. He's locking you into place with his spiky knuckles so he can get a clean punch on you.
Yeah. And this is a few weeks late, I think. Premium Bandai USA finally put up their version of the Shoto set for Series 2. As expected, there will be no gum. But otherwise, it's the same. I ordered it from there. I was waiting and almost gave up and then showed up. So hooray! Yeah. And then the last product, and this one was just fun. Tree Village, which does pseudo exclusives from various TV stations of shows they have running. A box of cookies for Digimon Adventure. There are 8 designs. The boxes come 12 to a box, and they're individually wrapped, so you can share them or only have one at a time. And it's basic art on the box, but it's actually nice that it's boxed and the price is not bad. I'm just amused by this for some reason. And I don't know why.
Because it's cookies.
Yeah.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Yeah, I guess so.
I don't think they've specifically done cookies before.
To be fair, they did macaroons, which is pretty close.
That's true. They have. I forgot about those.
Yeah. I feel like there's probably been Digimon cookies at some point and we just weren't paying attention. Oh, at the cafes, some of them had little sides of oh crap! I can't remember.
The Try Cafes.
I can't remember. I can't remember what the thing's called. The little it's made from not mochi. Where it's like sugar art. That kind of counts. It's in the cookie shapes.
A little wafer kind of thing?
Yes, wafers. That's what it was. Those count. They were circle. They were baked. They're sugary. Those are cookies with an asterisk on them.
Mm.
Yeah. And then we get the SH Figure Arts Omegamon Premium Collection. First off, this looks even much nicer than it did in the promo photo that we had. This looks really nice. They did the posing with the Kenshi Watanabe art with the sword going up, which people seem to really like that. I admit I pre-ordered this one already just because I want it. And it went up on Premium Bandai USA the exact same time it did in Japan, which was neat. But yeah, I'm really happy with how this one looks. This because I didn't get the War Game one, which is what this mold is, just because couldn't get it at the time. So it was nice to get the mold and with. I'm not trying to say better. It is better, but it's different. So I'm very interested to see how this looks when it actually shows up. And think they can repaint it slightly and put on a little colon on the logo a year from now. They could, and it sounds like
they won't.
We'll
Yeah.
buy it again.
Yeah. And then we get
got a new hat.
A new hat.
A new hat.
Yeah. So then the art. So we have the social art that the Digimon web account put up, which is Atler, Kabuterimon, and Okuamon locking horns.
Doing their thing.
Which looks great.
Bugs being bugs.
And then the Kenji Watanabe art, which just looks fantastic. I mean, even for all the great art we've gotten of him lately, this one looks really good. I kind of like the sharpness of it.
Yeah, really dynamic with that horn buster going.
And then we get Leomon running
away from death.
Or towards it.
Yeah, I'm still not 100%. I'm still not 100% sure what this was. I think it's that something similar name was trending in Japan, and people began to laugh and say it was Leomon. So they took Leomon art they had and did it, and it was a misunderstanding. Thanks for the hard work. I think that's what happened, but I don't actually know, to be honest. But it's still nice art. Although last time it had text on it, so we got it a bit cleaner, which is always nice.
Oh.
And then it is time for questions, so those in the chat can throw them up. Well, we start with ones that were sent in. Someone wants to know, did Ken Penders actually draw the Digimon the movie poster? So Ken Penders was allegedly a bastard. Cough, wink. Allegedly.
I was so close to having 300 issues of Sonic the Hedgehog, and he destroyed that.
To be fair, he's not the one who destroyed that. He destroyed other things. The answer is, as far as I've ever been able to tell looking, the answer is no. It appears it got mixed up that he did Digimon art for Pojo. For those who don't remember Pojo, they did unofficial magazines for a bunch of different brands and would hire whatever artists they could.
I remember those guys, yeah.
Yeah, so he had that he did art for, I believe the art said he did Digimon the movie. And it had, his site used to have the art actually there, and it was a Pojo cover of the Digimon Emperor and Wormmon. So I think what it is since he said he did Digimon the movie, everyone went, oh, he did the movie poster. But it doesn't really look like his art anyways. And it's always possible he did do it, but as far as we know, the answer would be no. Let's see what's there. Ramon wants to know, when will the new opening for Digimon Adventure show up? I would guess episode 27.
Episode 27, that was my guess too.
Yes, yeah. If you just want a random guess, that's
Yeah, the number is 27 if you want any sort of educational guess.
We will jump ahead to a question that was asked for AR. Does AR change his short-term writing plans based on things that happen in the franchise as they happen?
I do. So yeah, quick backstory. I actually started my story Neverworld, which is basically, starts with the adventure kid 6 years older. I started writing that.
Oh, one thing. I like when people send you questions because it's the one time I get to take a break.
Don't go for it. So yeah, it's like I started writing that just after Try was announced and before it came out. I got through the first half of the story before Try came out, and I just rolled the events of Try into the story as it came out, and I'm just really happy that we were on the same page character-wise, because that would have caused problems. So yeah, by the time the story was done, like, the first half of Try was, like, influencing my stories, my stories lore ended up influenced by Try. Atmon was out by then, so that made a cameo. And then in the sequel, I had all of Try to work with, all of Atmon to work with. I even got some of the Tamers audio into there as well. And the reboot actually helped me out of a big writing corner I wrote myself into. So yeah, I know I totally work canon into the stuff. I know some authors try to pretend that canon stuff didn't happen and they go their own way. I do the opposite. I take what actually happened and I try to weave it in as much as possible. I'm sure I'll find a way to
set on fire.
Yeah, no, I'm like, okay, I can make this work. I can fix it. I'm sure I'll find a way to reference Kizuna, even though
do you ever have the moment with Homer with chasing after the pig?
I almost did. Based on one of the spoilers I heard for Kizuna, that's one thing I'm still a little nervous about.
We're purposely not talking about Kizuna, but we'll come back. We'll come back to that one in a few weeks.
I heard when it first came out, I heard a spoiler that has me a little concerned, but my fingers are crossed.
Okay, then Ian has a related. Were you actually done, or did I just jump?
No.
Okay, just make sure. Okay, Ian has a related two. For the first one, he said, "Do you expect Be the Winners to be phased out when the party reunites now that they all have perfects?" We didn't hear in the last episode. I wouldn't expect every insert song to be in every episode, just because at this point we have 2 insert songs. It's not always going to be defined for both of them, and hopefully we'll get more. So I wouldn't expect it to be phased out. I would not be shocked if we don't hear it every episode like here.
Perhaps at the same time, they've been a little... It's not necessarily Be the Winners for adult and the new one for perfects, because they used Be the Winners for Metal Greymon's evolution in Mimi's episode. Or rather, they continued playing it, one of the two. But they didn't.
I don't remember, to be honest.
No, I distinctly remember that they didn't use the new one until Lilymon showed up, and Metal Greymon showed up before that. They were still on Be the Winners. Okay. So I don't think it's a level based thing. I think it's the right song for the moment in the story thing. Yeah. So I wouldn't say that either of the... I don't know if... I think they might use it less. I don't expect it to completely go away.
That makes sense. Dev, I think you were going to say something?
Yeah.
Oh, I misheard then. I thought you were about to jump in and didn't. Okay, Ian's part 2 was he wanted to know why haven't Crunchyroll subbed the insert songs, and is it the same reason why they didn't do the Atmon songs? Insert songs get confusing in the sense that, one, there aren't always official lyrics that the subtitler has access to, and sometimes if you don't have official lyrics, you're just not going to put anything because you don't want to screw that up, and you may not even be allowed to sub them sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
So there's any number, and here's the thing, it very likely isn't Crunchyroll subbing them, it's probably Toei doing it. It could be Toei, it could be Crunchyroll, it could be a partner of Toei doing it. It could be Funimation doing it on Toei's behalf, and just Funimation just isn't getting credit for it at the moment. It could be any number. It could be Sentai. It could be almost anyone doing it, or just a random translator they've hired.
I don't know. I've always found insert song translations in subs and fan subs a little distracting anyway, so I don't hate that they're not there.
Yeah, at Discotech, we moved them to a corner with a new font to make them nice so they show up, but they aren't like center.
Yeah,
whenever possible.
That's better.
Yeah. Okay.
I'd just rather they not be there at all, but...
Okay, here's a good one. Someone wants to know, I don't have a Blu-ray player. Would the difference be enough to make it worth it to get the movie on Blu-ray instead of DVD? Well, first, if you have a video game system that isn't a Switch from the last decade, you have a Blu-ray player, so it's worth checking. If not, there are plenty of cheap ones. I think the jump between DVD and Blu-ray is pretty extreme, to be honest. I would say yes. And the other thing is buying the movie on DVD, if you pre-order it on Amazon, it's like $16.99. Pre-ordering the Blu-ray, $17.99, and it comes with the DVD. Just spend the extra $1. See if you like the movie on DVD enough to find a $20, $30, $40 Blu-ray player. And if you do, then you already have it and you only spent $1 difference. on the movie itself. But I would say I would be shocked if it holds up in comparison, though. It, yeah. Any thoughts on this one from you guys?
I guess this also depend on like what kind of like TV you have to begin with, because if you're watching it on like a little 20-inch clunky thing, I mean, going from DVD to Blu-ray isn't going to make that much of a difference. But if you have like a larger TV, it definitely makes a difference.
Yeah, I'll sign on with that.
Yeah, that makes sense. And then let's see here. Nyrus just wanted us to clarify if we, Nyrus, we did talk about the new ending when we talked about the episode at the beginning. You'll be able to jump back and check that later. We actually talked about it a decent amount.
We like it.
Yes. Balmung wants to know,
Really?
what do we think the chances are of the Digimon card game becoming a success in the English trading card game market?
Who the hell knows?
Yeah, it's one of those things where, and we didn't say it to be mean, but card game fans do seem to be the most fickle fans there are.
That and card games are expensive to get into. I mean, I played the Pokemon card game for years and years, but for financial reasons, I had to give it up because if you want to be competitive, you have to spend a lot of money on like the papery crack.
Yeah, it's like, think about how much, like, I don't even think they were playing at best casually. Jeff from Podigious and May were both buying cases of them. Like the second one, I think Jeff bought 2 or 3 cases. May had bought 2 and then bought 2 more, I think. May was buying a ton of them.
I mean, the cards are sexy.
They look nice, but like to actually play the game, you're basically buying case after case. And I think Jeff had decided he was not going to do it on the third, and May had chosen to continue.
But another big thing is like organized play, like especially with the whole plague going on. Like, are there places to be able to do organized play?
Maybe I'm wrong. I had kind of just assumed they were doing the same setup that Japanese card players were, where they were using cameras and shit.
Well, the thing is, that's good for when you already have an established base. As far as, I don't know if a whole lot of places are going to be branching out into new card games at this time using that format.
Yeah, and that may be why we're getting the November promo stuff a few months ahead of time, to get a few sales and to get people knowing the game's out there before the proper release.
Mm-hmm. Because you can imagine one of the things to, get people interested in a game, especially with a franchise they might not be intimately familiar with, is to have these little demos at game stores and conventions saying, hey, come by and we'll teach you how to play this game, kind of give you a test pack, and you can feel your way around to see if this is a game you'd be interested in investing in.
Yeah. And that's also why you get stuff like, they're not just doing booster one boost, they're potpourriing them together to do a bigger base. Booster sets are coming with 12 cards. The price is good. You get a free booster with a starter deck. They're basically trying to start strong. So we'll see, but there's no real way for us to know. And I don't think any of us are knowledgeable enough about card games to yeah.
I think something that would help their chances would be if they had like an online game, kind of like Magic the Gathering has an online version. There's like a QR code in the actual booster pack, so it kind of like incentivizes you to buy the actual physical cards.
They are going to do the teaching app. So at the very least, there will be the teaching app. You could do free play with half decks, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Nice if they could do some fun Digico over here as well.
It feels like that's easy enough to do if they want to try, to be honest.
I think that would be helpful.
Yeah. I think the teaching deck will be helpful because, like, for example, AR, did you ever play card games?
Somebody gave me the base set for the Star Wars CCG, and I played that for a little bit, but I never really got too invested in it. So no.
Yeah, the last time I played any card game with any degree of seriousness was Magic in the 90s.
Yeah, my high school was really weird in that all the kids who got into CCGs got into Star Trek CCG, and I'm just not a big Star Trek person, so I never got into it. So yeah, like Star Trek
It's a
was the
weird
thing in
one
my high
to.
school.
Yeah,
It really was, yeah.
and Dev gave up on the Pokemon game, as she mentioned, due to money, which makes sense.
Pokemon.
Now, Joshua is a good one. Do you think I'm gonna go ahead and assume he means for adventure? Do you think we'll eventually see some of the O2 characters? I would say yes. I don't think it's going to be the what people want from them necessarily, though.
I don't know. I think people just want them to show up in some capacity. I think that's the base.
I
I think it's when people that they just want to see them. I think is the expectation
I think
or the
people.
hope, I should say.
I think they will show up a little bit and people will bitch.
I don't know if they will bitch.
Okay. Bitches mean
was,
they will politely complain in a manner that makes you want to smother them with a pillow.
When the series was first announced, I would have said it's incredibly unlikely. With 66 episodes ish, I think they might show up in some sort of limited role. I don't think they would be a thing where they're going to completely change the focus to them. If the series was supposed to be any longer, like if it was supposed to be like 80 episodes, I would have said that that's a fair shot.
Yeah.
That they would have done something like a Hunter style transition somewhere around the 55 episode mark.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, then someone sent what is a good thing to start collecting toys with? So this is where without more details, I would only like the Shotos, I guess, would be where I would suggest because they're not super expensive. They look nice. They're going to do at least enough of them to make it worthwhile. But the thing is, the best thing to start with is whatever you can get and afford and be like. Here's the thing: if you'll be happy with a keychain, get a keychain. Like someone,
yeah, don't be like us.
Yeah. I mean, like someone, it was like a week ago, they'd posted something. I was like, yeah, that CD's been out for years. And I got a message from them last night. They grabbed like 2 or 3 CDs from CD Japan that they didn't know existed, and that was what they wanted. And also because they wanted the version of Try from Part 6. They didn't know it was actually like available. They thought it was like a movie only thing.
Oh, okay.
And it came up in conversation. I'm like, no, that CD is available. And they got the one with the poster, and they hung the poster up. They said, and like if that's what you want, that's great.
Actually, that's not a bad one to collect if you're more interested in collecting than anything else. Is just buy the movies with the poster add-ons. Like if you've done that with Try and you can do that with Kizuna. That's
I've completely forgot Shout was doing that, and
I actually had 2. I think I have 2 Try posters that are still still wrapped up that I haven't put up. I haven't done anything with.
I have the one from the one CD with Yamato.
Oh yeah, because they
okay.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, yeah. So basically, it's whatever you can get that's within your budget, and you actually want to. It doesn't matter if it's a toy. If it like the question said toys, so yeah. But like, here's the thing: if all you want to collect is a few discs, Kizuna's out for like we said, $18 in a few weeks.
Ask yourself what's appropriate for your
budget
living
situation.
For your living situation. Like you want to have stuff that you can, put out, play with, if you want it on a shelf.
Because I've
got like 10 Digimon plushies in my closet that I'm not doing anything with. And it's like it feels like kind of a waste.
Yeah, it's sort of like I had enough money that I could have gotten the Imperial Dramon gem, but it was like, where would I put it? It like some of them are
huge.
Yeah, some of them are taller, so I could just throw it on a bookshelf and it looks nice there. That one's so wide that I sort of went, I want it, but I don't know what I would do with it.
I'm seriously considering getting an Ita bag just for the sake of putting my acrylics and keychains and crap in there, just to have another additional room for them along with my bulletin board.
You're no longer allowed to call it an Ita bag; it's a crap sack.
Fair enough.
Okay. Ramon wants.
I accept that change.
Okay, there are a couple of funnier card game ones. Ramon wants to know how many English card game cards are us 3 gonna buy. I don't know, to be honest. Like, here's the thing: if something comes up, yeah, I might grab something, but I don't think I would be I would get cards in the hopes of getting art more than anything else.
I I think I would have a hard time resisting if I see the original, if I see the actual pack, the starter pack. At the same time, if I see like just a random booster, I probably will pick it up just because my kid really likes to have cards. He gets Pokemon cards as rewards, and I would absolutely supplement that with Digimon
Okay,
cards.
okay, AR. What if conventions come back, you're walking by and you see a booster box for $65 and it's still sealed?
For $65, no.
Nah.
No.
Gonna get anything yourself, Dev, or no?
Um, it
Or you'll
depends.
Yeah, I feel like we're all in that it depends sort of zone at the moment.
Because,
Yeah.
like, occasionally I'll still pick up Pokemon cards, because at the very least, if I collect them and I display the ones that I really like, especially with the giant card art, but eh,
Yeah,
if it's pretty.
and Juggernaut want to know if we thought we would get free cards from Toei because we review stuff.
Hell no.
One, yeah, it wouldn't be from Toei, it'd be from Bandai, and two, Bandai's always been very hard to just get a hold of, even. Like, I believe the first time in a decade we actually did anything with Bandai was the V Pets.
I should have taken advantage of the time I helped with a Bandai booth at a convention once. I should have gotten a business card. That was a few years ago.
Okay, let's see. Okay, here's going. Someone wants to know what store would be the best to watch the movie digitally when it's out. So I guess the question is, Dev, are you going to get the movie digitally or no?
Now I'm just gonna get the physical copy because I have a PS3 in my room, so
Yeah, that makes sense.
I can
Now,
play it that way.
now, AR, you were going to buy it digitally.
I feel like I am compelled to buy it digitally just so I can see it and get the review out of the way,
Okay.
but I'm actually seconding this question because I'd like to know what store I should buy this from too.
Okay.
I'm open to options.
Okay. Ignoring that there could always be differences between the stores that answer the question for us and we don't know, I would be leaning towards getting it from iTunes. One, the video bitrate generally is a bit better than other stores. It's less relevant for the 1080p stuff, so I shout stuff on iTunes tends to be both languages, and that's often true of other stores also. But iTunes also tends to have extras for shout stuff, so I would hope that it would basically be like buying the disc in digital form. But the truth is we don't know at the moment enough to say one way or the other, because maybe it will be better at Voodoo, maybe it'll be better at Google Play, and then you can also watch it on YouTube, owning it there. So it's one of those things where I can guess, but until stuff's actually up, there could be differences, and that makes it hard to gauge.
It might end up being that I use Google Play because that's the one I actually have an account for.
Yeah. So yeah, the easiest store to use is the one that's easiest for you to use.
Yeah, like I don't think I have accounts for the other two, so
yeah,
that helps narrow it down.
Okay, Josh wants to know: was anyone creeped out by Smiling Yamato in the ED?
I was gonna say that Yamato does smile. It's just that it is a little rare for him to do so. I don't know. It's an ending theme. You're not allowed. You don't have to be in character.
Yeah. Okay, and then Terry wants to know: do you think they'll do megas once the whole team's assembled? Well, the answer is yes. It's just a matter of when, if that's immediately or if that's yeah.
I really hope they pause it for a little bit and let the characters breathe, and we actually find out who they are. They should really introduce the kids at some point before we get into their third evolution forms.
And Beaumont wants to know: when do you think they'll announce the Wave 2 Pendulum Z's? Shrug, it could be any time between now and early next year, because there's been a lot of like VPET Digivice stuff in the last few months. I wouldn't be shocked if they want to give that a little bit of a break. There's been a lot of those lately.
Please give us a break.
Yeah, so we'll give them one more chance for questions, and then we'll call it. But yeah, Joshua says he's getting the physical copy and digital because he has no fiscal responsibility. The thing is you like Digimon, it's not that like if both of them cost less than $20, $40 for for a nice set a few years ago was rather normal, so it's not that odd.
Yeah, like I don't mind getting, but like I don't mind, like digital is more convenient for me to watch typically, and I have everything else that's been released on disc, so like of course I need to have Kizuna in addition to everything. Like I have Digimon Fusion on DVD. Of course I'm going to get Kizuna.
It's the 7th anniversary of it, 7th or 8th anniversary, I don't remember which at the moment, of it airing its first episode in the US.
I have a confession to make. I do not hate Digimon Fusion, the dub. I think it is. It's not good, but I think it is. I think it has more energy and is undervalued as an experience.
I didn't watch the whole thing, so I don't remember, to be honest.
It gets kind of a. It's definitely not good. Like it has a lot of old. It has a lot of problems. You'd think we'd be past by now, but
the problem is most of the people that I see saying that it's really bad are the same people that I see complimenting some of the worst shows possible on the planet. And it makes me go, it can't be that bad because I've seen your judgment.
What are you talking about? Are you talking about people talking about Fusion or Cross Wars?
Fusion.
Oh, well, no, I mean,
the same people tend to rant about Cross Wars also.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, no, Fusion is. I think Fusion as a dub gets a bad rap just because it does so many really obvious things wrong, but once you get past those, it's actually kind of fun to watch.
Okay, I think we will call it AR. Where can they find you?
Digimon.firstagent.net is my website. First Agent ARP is my Twitter.
DevQ, what Wikimon article do you want people to read this week?
They should hit up the Pendulum Progress series.
Is there any specific reason why, or is that just what came to mind?
That's mostly just because like all the Pendulum Z stuff is coming out, so that one hasn't really gotten that much attention.
Yeah, we didn't really talk about that much this week. The pendulums.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm turning my mic off and coughing like you wouldn't believe. And I can be found at With the Will as expected. We will catch you guys next time. Anything else anyone has to say? I'll take that.
So.
I will take that as
don't schedule convention meetings before podcasts.
Okay. We'll catch you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.